It's a little dark in here. I need to fix the light, but just bear with me for a moment. Today I want to talk about my sexy dad robe that you see me in right now. So 5 years ago, before I became affiliate with Twitch, I started this series called Sexy Dad Robe in the morning, where I would drink my coffee and stream video games for like 2 to 3 hours in the morning after I was done studying Python. I had about one viewer on Twitch that was just a lurker and would never say anything to me in my streams. I've had that viewer for 10 years now, and I always said that as long as I have one person watching me, I will continue to create content. Even if the rest of the world hates it, somebody out there appreciates it. So anyway, one day I was when I get too hot in this bathrobe while I'm streaming, I will wear it like this, kind of like a toga, and one arm kind of dangles in the back right there. If I stand up, there's a dangling arm in the back. So one day I was streaming like this, and given my familial history of military service, I made a joke that my sexy dad robe was my 5-star General Space Force uniform, which was a joke about how the Space Force is practically useless and that they can do their job in a bathrobe because they don't ever see any action. So it was a Space Force joke. And I said it was my 5-star Space Force uniform. And I had one viewer watching my stream. Well, 2 months after I made this joke, Amelia Watson, who I adored at the time and would watch all of her streams because I firmly believe that's my friend. Actually, I know it's my friend. I don't have to. It's not a belief. It's a fact. It was my friend. 2 months later, Amelia Watson had her spacesuit debut stream where she had a, space outfit, and she wore it with one arm in the back, just like a toga. And I thought, wow, that looks suspiciously like my bathrobe. And that's very similar to the joke I made about this being a Space Force uniform. So I thought it was really strange. And I had been having conversations with my friend on Steam, who is Amelia Watson, around that time. So she knew about my Twitch channel. She knew about my YouTube channel, and she was clearly watching both of them. Well, she wears her spacesuit like I wear this robe, as you see me in right now. And I just always thought that was really strange. Now, this isn't the only instance of me designing Amelia Watson's outfits and getting absolutely no credit or cash for doing so. Now, a year or two after the Space Force incident, I believe it was, my timeline might be a little askew. It's, it happened so long ago. But I was actively posting to my YouTube channel where I just make silly videos. And I posted this 7-second video of me wearing this hat and a bandana. And I put the bandana over my nose and I said, this is what I'd look like if I was a bandit. And it was a red bandana. Well, a couple months, actually, yeah, it was, I did that in the summertime, and later in the winter, after her Sex with S-Fan stream, Amelia Watson, it was after I got done being hospitalized for the attempt I took on my life after my stalker sexually assaulted me, and Amelia Watson made jokes about it on stream, as did Sarasvana and Gargura. I was hospitalized. I came out, and days after I was released, Amelia Watson had her cowboy outfit debut stream, where in that video, I think the video where she said this has been deleted, but in one of the videos with her cowboy outfit, I made a huge deal about this, and I think it was deleted because I made a huge deal about this, on my deleted YouTube channel, which I deleted because of harassment. Amelia Watson says, this is what I'd look like if I was an outlaw. And she's wearing a red bandana and a cowboy hat, which is very similar, not exact, but very similar to the appearance I had in my video where I said this is what I'd look like if I were a bandit. Not only that, she basically used the same structure of her sentence where I said this is what I'd look like if I was a bandit and just changed the word bandit to outlaw, which is why I feel that she copied that idea from me. And given the fact that I have, the catfish Barry Wood, who was commenting on my channel at that time, admitting to being Rebecca, I think it's pretty safe for me to say that Rebecca was watching my streams and using me as a content slave that she refused to give credit to. Now, the amount of content Rebecca stole from me, and both Belle Delphine or Gargoyle, whatever you want to call her, extends far more than the outfits. And I love telling this video because it really pisses off the fans of HoloLive, because a lot of them want to be in my position, but they're not. And so they're just super jealous because I'm like, you know, really renowned for my feats of strength, and they're just like losers that drink 10 cans of Dr. Pepper every morning. But, you know, there was one time where I was doing a stream. I hate Fortnite. I'm just going to say that right here because this is relevant to it. I hate Fortnite, and I was doing a stream where I was playing Doom Hell on Earth, because I was doing a series where I was trying to beat Hell on Earth on ultraviolence without dying, which I actually ended up doing. And I said, I started talking about how they made Buff Peter in Fortnite, and I was talking about how stupid it is and how I hate Buff Peter. And literally an hour after I stopped streaming, Amelia Watson started streaming, got on stream, and started talking about how she hates Buff Peter. And I was like, wow, that's really coincidental. I was just talking about that. Now, more recently, I believe it was earlier this year, actually, I got on stream and I started ranting about how kink shaming is necessary because there's a lot of people who have kinks that hurt people, like cuckoldry fetishes. I believe people with cuckoldry fetishes and, you know, power play fetishes are hurting other people in their domination fetish. And so I was talking about how kink shaming needs to happen and how I was like, you know, I'm all for kink shaming because if you have a kink that hurts somebody, you deserve to be shamed. Now, a week after that stream, guess who got online and started talking about kink shaming? Doobie3D did. So I found that really interesting how all of these times I've mentioned these topics, Doobie3D has come and parroted what it is I was saying. You know, and I just thought that was really, really strange. And, you know, it fits the character of Doobie3D because if you've watched her as Amelia Watson play Among Us, she is known for her gaslighting tactics and her toxicity. Doobie3D is very toxic, and if you tell me I'm wrong about that, you are delusional. She often parrots what I say, and Doobie3D catfished me and used me as a content slave. I could go into more of that, but I'll save it for another video.